Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd do a little thought for the week, or is it a fortnight now? I don't know. I thought I'd say a few things about the different kind of stuff that I've learned over the last couple of weeks. So, what can I say? The AT, well, it's an interesting trail. It seems to have a horrible habit of throwing you a curveball at the end of the day. So you can have had a nice walk and then suddenly there's a river to ford, or more often than not there's a boulder scramble, or just a really horrible rocky path, or a steep incline or decline. And it always seems to be at the end of the day. So the best laid plans go askew because something weird just happens. So that's one thing. What else is there? Oh yeah, I've noticed actually that a positive mental attitude makes a massive difference. If I have a really good attitude towards the day and I'm really positive about things, and I'm looking at all these rocks and stuff, and I'm, instead of thinking, oh, it's a rock, I'm thinking, oh, this is a step so that I can get up this mountainside. If this rock wasn't here, there would be no steps and it would be really difficult to get up this mountain. So sort of that sort of thing, you know, a real positive attitude, and thinking, well, I'm nearly there now when I'm halfway up the hill, as opposed to, oh no, I've still got half of a hill to go up. And things, and it just makes the day go a little bit quicker, and it's a lot more pleasant. But having said that, it's really, really hard work to keep a positive mental attitude, especially with, I mean, you've seen some of the pictures that I've posted, the rocks. I am so over Pennsylvania and its rocks. And apparently this last bit that we're going to do, it's going to get even worse. Apparently not so much boulders, but more sort of like small ankle turning rocks for like miles and miles and miles on end with no respite. So I'm kind of bracing myself for that and trying to think of something positive to think about those, but haven't quite decided what yet. I'm sure I'll find something. So yeah, so it is hard work being positive, especially when you're tired and it's cold and it's raining and you've just seen enough rocks to last you a lifetime, really. So yeah, that's something. So, oh, food is another thing as well, because we can't take anything fresh with us, really. I mean, I cook at home. I eat fresh. I very rarely buy kind of ready meals or anything like that anyway, so I'm not really familiar with packaged food, and it's not my favourite thing apart from takeaways. But we can't take fresh food with us because obviously a lot of fresh food contains water. Water is heavy. We're trying to minimise the amount of space things take up and the amount of weight that we're carrying as well. So we're kind of at the mercy of dehydrated food. We're also trying to find as many calories as possible, because at the very least we're using up about 3,500 a day. So that's really difficult to find food. And what I found, I don't know whether it's true of the whole of the United States, is just really hard to find any kind of dehydrated packaged food that doesn't contain corn syrup. So everything tastes sweet, and you kind of get a little bit fed up with that after a while. I was busy trying to find crackers, pretzels, anything like that. More often than not, you really have to check the ingredients on the back of the packet, because you think you're buying a savoury cracker and that's what it says, and then you open it and it tastes sweet. You know, that's okay if that's what you wanted, but a bit of a nasty shock if it isn't. And the other thing is as well, obviously there's things that are high in calories that would be really useful to take, and we have done it in the cooler weather. It's starting to get a bit hot and humid now during the day, but things like cheese and salami sticks, they just taste really horrible once they've been in your backpack and sweating for a couple of days. Probably not the most sensible thing to eat either after that time. But yeah, so you end up eating things like ramen and mashed potato and trying to find creative ways to liven it up. And various different like chewy bars. The Cliff bars are nice. I like them. Apparently they're an acquired taste, and they've got this bit of a back taste texture that's a little bit like gluten-free flour, so they're a little bit dry maybe, but if you pick your flavours carefully, they're quite nice. 250 calories in one of those. Yeah, so this week, because we've been right next to a Cabela's, which is kind of like a hunting, shooting, fishing outfitters, really. They do some stuff for hikers. we've treated ourselves to the 6 days that we're out, 6 hiker meals. So I'll take a picture of these and post probably on the next video, but they're literally a bag of dehydrated food with genuine, real, proper ingredients in it, like actual dehydrated vegetables, actual dehydrated meat, not sort of kind of plastic food, if you see what I mean. They're not the cheapest things in the world, but they're still cheaper than the restaurant meal, and just to sort of mix things up a bit and have a bit of a treat. So that's what we're going to be eating for our dinners, at least for this week. And like I say, I'll post some pictures, maybe even a video of one of them. But so yeah, so there we go. So yeah, I mean, all in all, the highlights for the last couple of weeks, I guess, was the people that we've met. I think we've met quite a lot of people along the way, through hikers and section hikers, and just some of the, you know, locals that happened to camp in the same place as we did. We had some good advice, good chats, and they're kind of like interesting people, and they're just really nice to talk to. Everyone's on the trail seems to be very helpful, very friendly, and I've kind of enjoyed the company of meeting some of these people, because I guess in real life, in your normal everyday run of the mill, you tend to meet the same kind of people all the time, but out here there's all kinds of characters walking this trail, and it's just really lovely to be able to have conversations with them, you know, to find out their story, and trail names as well. So everybody has a trail name, yeah, and the reason for each of those sort of trail names. And I've adopted my own trail name now, although I am definitely on Wings with Eagles. That's rather a description rather than an actual trail name. And the one thing I've gone on and on and on about is my speed. I will walk at one speed, my speed. That speed might be fast, it might be slow, but it's my speed. Nobody's going to make me go any faster or any slower. I'm going to hike my own hike and walk at my own speed. I'm a bit of a plodder. If I started off at, I don't know, 6 a.m, I could probably carry on walking forever as long as it was at my speed. So I'm definitely a plodder. I'm not a runner, or I don't like to get to things in a hurry. I'm not that bothered about it. So I've adopted the trail name One Speed. So there we go, One Speed. And I quite like that. It kind of sums a lot of my attitude towards this walk up. I'm going to do this my way, my own speed. I'm not going to really care how fast other people are walking, how many people pass us by, how long it takes me to get up a hill. I'm not bothered. I'm walking my walk, and that's that. So One Speed. You heard it here first. But they, some of the trail names, they kind of vary. We've met people, I think you've heard me mention them before, like Zorro and Feral, and I met a lovely man called Aiken, and he was really sweet as well. Might see him again, I don't know, I think he's a bit ahead of us now. And a German chappie called Marco. Yeah, I think his trail name was a bit dubious. I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, so yeah, it's all good. So the highlight really has been the people that I've met along the way, I guess. Low light, rocks. Fed up with rocks. Big rocks, small rocks, rocks all over the place. Ankle turning rocks, wet rocks in rivers, little rocks, big, just rocks. I am so over rocks. Apparently they do stop about 15 miles into New Jersey. So at the beginning of May, hopefully, although it will still be some rocks, as this obviously is a mountain range, it's not going to be this kind of rock. So I'm really looking forward to that.